Room temperature is very important when making dough and letting the dough rise or proof. Why? Because the warmer the room, you need to remove water from your receipt, or the colder the room, you need to add water. I'll give you an example. When I make bread and let it rise 68 Fahrenheit or 20 Celsius, versus 73 Fahrenheit, so that's only 5 Fahrenheit degree difference, versus 23 or 23 Celsius, so between 20 Celsius, 23 Celsius, or 68 to 73 Fahrenheit, if I have the room warmer by this amount, I will need to subtract from my receipt about 1 ounce of water, or maybe 30 milliliters. I use about 3.3 pounds of flour to 1.7 pounds of water, and that's about 1.5 kilos to about 800 grams. So it's a big important of liquid. Again, it's 30 milliliters, 1 ounce, just for a 5 Fahrenheit degree difference, or 3 Celsius if you want in Celsius. It's a big difference, and I need to adjust it. For instance, I use about this difference in water. I keep the same amount of flour, just the water. You obviously can also change the amount of flour instead. So I just change this amount of water, usually from summertime to wintertime. So in wintertime, I'll have my room at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Summertime, 73 Fahrenheit, and I will adjust the quantity of amount of water. Otherwise, the dough gets either very dry, too dry, or too wet. Now also keep in mind that you can also, if you get a dough that's too wet, you can just, what I do when it happens, I would just spread the dough thin over my countertop, and I just let it basically this will cause some humidity from the dough to evaporate. You can leave it for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you can flip it on the other side, and this is how you extract water from it. You can also obviously add flour, but I think this is easier. Now also keep in mind that dough varies from brand to brand. Within the same brand, bleach versus unbleached, bleach will be the all-purpose. It's varying from density of the flour. So if you use a flour from one brand and want to switch to another brand, you will need to adjust the amount of water. And keep in mind, when you watch videos on YouTube, I'm making this video because almost never you hear the person who is showing you a recipe for dough, bread, or something like this. Almost nobody is saying my room temperature is this. Now, of course, there will be an average room temperature for everybody. I guess it's not a big variation, but the problem is that even a few degrees, you will need to adjust the recipe. And also, you don't know from the videos what kind of flour that person is using. Even from country to country, if someone is in another country, you will never probably have in your own country the same density of flour, the same, when it's grind, when it's making this fine, you will not have the exact same flour, so you will always need to adjust your quantity of water for the same recipe. So just keep this in mind. There is no ideal temperature per se to make a dough or to let it rise. Also, it depends on the time that you let it rise. But it's always that you start with the temperature that you have in the room. Just notice the temperature, because if maybe next day you maybe put your AC or maybe put your heating and the temperature is going to be too different, then you will need to adjust the amount of water for the recipe that you are using. And it's really important. Otherwise, when you get a very sticky dough, for instance, it's not fun to work with it. And when you get a dough that's too dry, it's difficult to adjust it, to add water and mix water once you already did need the dough to some point. So keep this in mind, don't get frustrated. And by the way, when dough is very wet, if you use something like a plastic surface or something like this, or maybe a plastic bin, just if you remove the dough from there, just let the bean dry a couple of hours, then the dough will basically fall from the walls of that bean when it's dried. So don't try to scrub it when it's very wet.